Say, walk with me, ninjas. uh, this is food for thought. Y'all do the dishes, whatever you said, man. Let's talk. Let's talk heavy. I ain't about to waste no time. I don't plan on being on long. I didn't feel like sitting at the desk. I want to just chill. I might play some Mario Galaxy tonight, so I just want to chill. But uh, but uh, but yeah, PBC versus Top Rank. Uh, yeah, PBC versus Top Rank. Teaming up with each other against Turki Cheek. Bud say Crawford on that ish. He'll end up with Derrick on Derrick and Ryan getting back together. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching live, double tap the screen and like the video. Want to support the channel, share it, subscribe, join the Patreon. You won't regret it. If you want to financially donate, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313. All that's inside. That first link in the description in the link tree. Under Find Me Everywhere. So yeah, Bob said they're gonna be doing fights to try to counterbalance Turki. We're doing Riyadh season. Turki and Dana White already took over Top Rank ESPN date starting in 2026. And what's interesting about the TV thing, real quick, is that ain't nothing on cable no more. I think ESPN, if anybody needs to adopt the independent streaming app thing, ESPN should embrace it. They should charge like people $5 to get ESPN. $5 a month. You get ESPN. You get ESPN 2, 3, and all that, or maybe like a little, maybe a little bump up if you want the package. But that's what they should do. They should just get away from cable. Everybody cutting the cord. They've been cutting the cord. If it wasn't for Wi-Fi, these internet companies would be in trouble, So ESPN should just be standalone. But a lot of these networks having problems with programming. There's just not a lot of good programming going on right now. And, you got to have 1,000 different apps just to get certain shows. So, cable just don't make sense right now. Especially if you're talking about premium cable, HBO, Cinemax. It just financially don't make sense, especially in a time where everybody is trying to cut back on as much as possible. So, but nonetheless, Bob and them, they getting out the business of ESPN, and now they want to join forces with Turki. And then, it's too late. They don't have nothing that I want to see. Shockey Foster and Stephen Fulton, that let you know when we heard them rumors and it started to really come out, we knew that it had to happen. Now you're going to hear about Loma and Gervonta Davis. But these are fights like Shockey Foster and Fulton is a good fight. But I think a lot of people would prefer to see Fulton versus Shushu Carrington. But either or is fine. If we get Shushu and Ray Vargas, because he's the champion of recess, that's still a good fight. But you start to think about it, really, for most fans, it don't start to count till you get the welterweight and above. And what they got at welterweight that you want to see? What they got at 54 that you want to see? Nothing. Nathan. At 60, what do they got? Genovic and Carlos Adames? Okay, that's cool. That's not going to move the needle. It's like boxing sparring came in yesterday, and he was trying to challenge me and talking about, and Gulo and Kirkland was a great fight. We need more great fights. I agree. I concur. But also, you need your premium fights to be your classics. Every premium fight can't be Hagler and Hearns. But the way boxing is declining, they need every premium fight. If you're going to ask people to pay $89, they need to be Hagler Hearns. They need to be controversial but popular like Leonard and Hagler. They need more, historic venues like Muhammad Ali and George Foreman, the Thriller in Manila, Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali. People need the whole aesthetics. You know what I'm saying? How about you offer a fight and send them a K? You know, I mean, do something different. But they need their best fighters to put on. They need their premium fights to put on to be their best product. And that's just what it is. They need premium fights to be premium products. Real talk. You know, you can have your Zapatas and Baranchniks and your Kirklands and Angulos. I mean, you can even have your Kirkland versus Glenn Tapia. That was a fantastic fight. Any historic fight that you can think of that was legendary. You know, over the course of the last 10 years, Holt and Bradley was a good fight. Danny and Holt was a solid. Kendall Holt was a solid fight. You know, but you need those fights to be. If Shakur and Gervonta fight each other, not making the fight ain't enough. Let me say that. Making the fight ain't enough. Mayweather and Pacquiao messed that up. Making the fight ain't enough. These fights need to be made, and these boys need to be fighting like Spence and Porter. We need more pay-per-view fights like Spence and Porter, Thurman and Pacquiao. But we needed to come from our young and brightest. We need them to fight like they fighting for the last piece of chicken in the world. That's what we need. You know, they did enough building. How many fucking buildings we gonna build? How many houses we gonna build? How many condos we gonna build? How many business suites or little outdoor strip malls we gonna build? When we gonna put tenants in there? When we gonna move in and raise our families? We just building fights and boxing with no intents to be residents, no intents to rent it out, no intent to be owners. We just building. And by the time you're ready to move in and get everything up to code, the houses is not even gonna be modern anymore. You know? They're gonna be old, rotted out. Roofs you ain't even lived into it. The roof already falling apart. So yeah, we need our best and brightest in boxing to fight, and we need them to fight like the loser gonna die, nigga. I mean, I swear to God, I wish I could be the dictator of this country. Oh man, I have so many great ideas. I have so many great ideas. But yeah, we need our biggest and brightest to put on our best performances. You don't expect to go see a Denzel movie and not to see a great performance of acting. I mean, in Gladiator 2, he was fucking phenomenal. Him and Pedro Pascal made that movie, even more than the main character. Am I lying? Anybody that's seen it, Denzel made that movie, and Pedro Pascal. They weren't the leads in that movie. I don't know the guy's name. He wasn't bad. But they weren't the leads in that movie. So, but with them working together, it's too little too late. Who do they got for Benavidez over there? I don't know. Charlos, Hero Spence, past prime. I don't think Queensberry fucking with Bob no more. So, Hazmat Shiraz, he out of there. So, it's really nothing. Top Rank is composed of a lot of young fighters. They're not going to make Davis versus Davis. They're not going to make Keyshawn Davis versus Gervonta Davis. Come on. Are they going to make... I mean, if you tell me they're going to make Gervonta Davis versus Keyshawn and Teofimo and them, then, hey, sign me up. But what else do you got behind that? A lot of their stars are young. Who you got for Abdullah Mason? PBC prospects have all been defeated for the most part. You gonna put them in there with Reyes Venezuela? I don't mind seeing it. Who you gonna put Gary Anton Russell in there with? I tell you what, Andy Heroka, I'm a fan. I would love to see Andy Heroka fight those boys. I mean, Andy Heroka, you can line it up. You can line them up. Keyshawn Davis, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, line them up. Brian Norman Jr., Gary Anton. I'm putting bread. He beat Gary Anton Russell Jr. I put bread on that. he beat Gary Anton Russell Jr. I put bread in Heroka beat him. He might stop Gary Anton Russell Jr. in my opinion. And to be honest, if he able to get one or two of those guys, T.O., Gary Anton, I think he'll fuck Shakur Stevenson up. On the real. I think he'll tear Shakur Stevenson little coochie out the frame. Andy Heroka, a problem. I mean, he put them paws on Pawpaw. He had Pawpaw and that bitch gyrate. Yeah, go look up Andy Heroka. What's that nigga American name, y'all? Ghana name? Andy Justice? Look him up. 140 pounds, 6 feet. What do he have? 74-inch reach? He got it. Got half Ghana, half Ghanaian, half Japanese, half Japan. Jesus Christ. Half Japanese. I'm telling you. Look at him, he putting them paws on Pawpaw. What y'all think happened to Rolly Problem Pawpaw? They was beating Pawpaw like he was the AARP police. And I was about to call elder abuse hotline on him. He the dude who put Ishmael Barros out. The dude that Jen Psaki, who pulled up on Brian Norman Jr., he parked that bitch too. He parallel parked Jen Psaki. Parked him and drunk his sake. No Diddy, no Harvey Weinstein, no Kevin Spacey. Yeah. Turki all the Sheik need to get Andy Heroka in Riyadh season. Them boys, I'm telling you, them boys ain't trying to see him. Bruce Lee and Bruce Leroy and one nigga. Ha ha ha. I don't give a fuck about no Matias. That'd be a fight of the year candidate though, but fuck Matias gonna do for Heroka. He fight Matias is every fight. Yeah, Matias, I don't care about Dennis Rodman. I want to see Heroka versus who I said. Keyshawn, Gary Anton Russell, Tia Female Lopez. That's who I want to see him with. Motherfucker problem. I know talent. I know talent. No, you don't. Don't you do that. I know talent. But nonetheless, enough about Andy. We talked about him yesterday. Motherfucker problem. Motherfucker problem. That motherfucker a problem. That's all I'm gonna say. I was highly impressed. I'm highly impressed. He's a problem. We need him on Riyadh season. Or somebody need to get him under contract. All them trips Bob Arum taking over there, you ain't signed that boy. See, they ain't looking for talent no more. They ain't really looking for talent. These niggas looking to hit licks. But like I said, they don't have nothing at PBC left. Them ninjas on fumes. They don't have nobody for Benavidez. They don't have nothing left. So it's nothing really they can do to work. They can work to expand. But the big popular fights, but outside of Tank, I can't think of nothing else. Literally. So I'm thinking, and I'm off the top of the dome, but, them little fighters, Gary Anton Russell, he gone. This motherfucker full-time mitt holder. So him and the New York don't make sense. Him and Valdez don't make sense. So, to be honest, they have Nathan, bro. Top-rated PBC ain't got Nathan. I can think about where I be like, man, I want to see that fight. Both top-ranked roster is in the hands of the youngest, their youngest and their brightest. That's what it is. So, PBC, Carlos Borderas, Colbert, Venezuela, all their youngest and brightest got beat on. And then also think about it, they made a fight with Keyshawn Davis and Edwin De Los Santos. Now somebody told me, said De Los Santos had blood clots, and that's why he's been out since the Shakur Stevenson fight. So all of a sudden, when they in a decline, they want to start making fights. Don't that sound like somebody? Sound like these hoes out here? When they in a prime, can't get their time. When they in a decline, you supposed to show them all the shine. No sirree, Bob. Absolutely not. So they ain't got shit. me and Al Heyman, we're gonna make some really good fight. And then left. But they're gonna make Richard Torres versus Deontay Wilder. Shit, I know Wilder fighting in Wichita, Kansas. Damn, he can't even fight in St. Louis. We can't get a gunshot of 3. Nigga can't even fight in St. Louis. He's better off just doing the fight in his backyard. Unless that bitch took it. Oh, let me stop. Come on, they got Wilder. Wilder better off fighting on the Figueroa Street. Wilder fighting on Figueroa Street. What else we got? So Bud said that Pacquiao was on that ish, and that's why he kept him out of his top 5. Regardless of what Pacquiao did, let's say he was a clean fighter, he ain't no top 5 fighter. Now, if you want to say in modern history, that's cool. I don't have Floyd in my top 30. Top 25 to be safe as an all-time great. But I know a little bit about boxing. You know, I know about the history, so I don't think he was that great. But that's just my opinion. I think he was, being top 50 is an honor. Look at the NBA, top 75. You know, you start talking about the true guys that do exceptionally great things. Joe Louis, Henry Armstrong, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler. You start actually getting into it. A lot of people like Charles Burley. People forget about Archie Moore. I'm talking about a couple of the greatest light heavyweights of all time, in my opinion. Michael Moore, Michael Spinks, Roy Jones Jr. James Toney. He fought some guys and took some risks. I thought he beat Samuel Peters. So, like I said, a lot of people like Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes. Another guy who was the first fighter to debut on pay-per-view, Floyd Patterson. If he had a chin, he'd be greater, but he's one of the greatest to do it in the heavyweight division. He was with Customato before, way before Mike Tyson, obviously. So it's just a tremendous amount of great talent. He's talking about guys what it could have been stories, and Gerald McClellan and guys like that. So it's hard to rank them. Everybody had their styles, but a lot of people that talk about how they want to rate these fighters, they don't know the history. So to say, oh, this is an all-time great list like a Burt Sugar, you got to respect his opinion up until the time that he passed, because he had knowledge. Most people don't have knowledge outside the 2010s, and even inside the 2010s, they don't have great knowledge within the 2010s. So, but yeah, even if you said that, in the grand scheme of things, come on, how many fighters will beat, just in the hypothetical, will beat the shit out of Manny Pacquiao? He can juice up all he wants to. So, he was not that great. How wasn't he that great? I think he was the first heavyweight to regain the heavyweight world title. No, it was that Jack Dempsey. I could be wrong on that one. He fought on pay-per-view. He was a world champion. I believe he fought Sonny Liston. He fought Muhammad Ali. He was the heavyweight champion. He was the heavyweight champion. It wasn't no WBO, IBF. He was that nigga. Sonny Liston was a monster. Muhammad Ali was a monster. How Floyd Patterson not that great? In a world of one champion, he reigned. I bet he whooped Rocky Marciano's ass if he don't get clipped. So, like I said before, you say Boots is great. It ain't shit great about Boots, Kid Bud. Ain't nothing great about Boots. Maybe if he put a Make America Great hat on, that'll make him great, but ain't nothing great about Boots. I'm gonna say that. Y'all think Boots is greatness. Ain't nothing great about that nigga, but it's sparring. He get into the real fight, ain't nothing great. Unless you sit him at the Great Steak or put a Make America Great hat on him, that's the only thing great about him. Yeah. Floyd Patterson will whoop Jerron in his ass. Yeah. No, this is not. Man, I gotta be an asshole. Come on, move it. Why you looking at me like you crazy? Oh, where the fuck is he going? This nigga just darted. Oh man, this nigga's irritating, bro. It's cold as fuck out here. Want to be 70 degrees one day and 37 degrees the next day. And then when it get hot, you got Mexican people just laying up under the tree at 11 o'clock at night. Like, dude, it's pitch dark. You laying under the tree with a 40. Ain't that crazy? Crazy as hell, dog. Crazy as hell. But, well, yeah. I mean, you know, why it's kind of like acceptable for Pacquiao to be on that shit is because he's a non-black. That's what it is. And it's not the reason kind of what y'all think it is. People just tired of seeing black people dominate boxing. That's it. It's like the Patriots dominating, the Bulls dominating in the 90s. People just tired of seeing it. They want to see the era where white fighters come back. They want to see an era where Mexican fighters truly dominate. That era don't fucking exist. And you got to think about it. Up until the modern era of boxing, you couldn't dominate unless you was a heavyweight. You gotta think about that. Sugar Ray Leonard started to change that, and Marvin, but really, even in that era, shit, that was a heavyweight era. Still, that's why I created the pound for pound list to put shine on the smaller guys. But that was that era. That was, that was Mike Tyson's era. That was that era, bro. Real spill. That was that era, but. It is what it is, but yeah, but they okay with the non-blacks cheating, just to put somebody else, just to break the norm. They tired of seeing. You look up and down most people pound for pound, or most people historic great all-time great list, historic all-time great pound for pound list. If they being honest on a lie detector and they know boxing, over 70 to 80% of that list is gonna be fighters of black American descent. That's just a fact. So people, when they get a Pacquiao, when they get to the anomaly, they don't care if they cheated. They don't care if they seen they put a needle up the arm. They don't care. We just finally got something different. We got tired of eating key lime pie every night. We just want something different. And, I mean, cool. Why I think Cooper Flag's such a big thing in basketball? A true American white basketball player that can compete at the highest level, you're going to bring white fans there. You're going to bring a whole new type of fan base back. So I get it. I definitely understand it. But Pacquiao is seen to be this heroic type figure when he admitted to being a womanizer. Didn't he allegedly cheat on his wife with Paris Hilton? Come on. Didn't Nike take his deal for being anti-rainbow community? Come on. Y'all be putting these jackets on these people because y'all think, they nice and they smile and they good people. Don't be. So, at the end of the day, Bud ain't tell a lie. He ain't tell a lie. Everybody know it to be true. Oh no, he wasn't. Come on, man. Nobody moving up them divisions, not taking a deep breath. The power. Come on, man. You moving up and you got all muscle on in your midsection. When niggas move up, they get soft in the midsection. So we know what it was. So, but people gonna act like it wasn't, what it was. And Kobe sent me an interview with Chris Stevens and say, well, we fighters, and I wouldn't have sued if I'm Devin Haney and all this type of shit. I still ain't got an answer from these niggas. What do being fighters got to do with you being cheated. Now, if Devin Haney did what I would have did, I'd have paid somebody to break Ryan Garcia's legs. Yeah. Pay one of the New York niggas to carve a motherfucking mech in his face. Then, would he have been wrong? Come on, we in a legal fight, and you take steroids, bro, that's attempted murder. But you know why niggas defend shit like that? Because they dirty. Because they dirty. They dirty. That's why they defend it. They dirty. Be quiet. This dude. Be quiet. But yeah, they dirty. That's why they defend it. How am I in a legal? How am I in a legal situation and I'm wrong for suing somebody for cheating me? Like, I don't get that. And these niggas ain't no street niggas. Don't get that twisted. None of these niggas street niggas. Most of these niggas getting extorted by their manager and or their promoter. So nobody ever gave me an answer about how do we stop these dudes from cheating. Nobody gave me a solution. Nobody gave me a solution. Oh, I'm just supposed to just take what happened to me and nothing happened. These niggas not getting lifetime bans. They getting 6 months, a year ban. They fight once every year. So what's the change? No, I'm gonna hit them pockets. I'm gonna hit them pockets. Or I'm gonna hire some niggas to whoop your ass. So however you want it. And it's crazy how they got this, oh, he was on PEDs, it's nothing, give him a pass, he can come back and fight. And you know, you be looking like, okay. Keep that same energy when a nigga get caught on PEDs. Keep that same energy. So everybody know Pacquiao wasn't on the up and up. This is a dude in the beginning of his career, like in the first 10 or 12 fights, he got stopped with a body shot on several occasions. We know it. If you ain't got nothing to hide, he don't want to take no blood test saying that he's scared of needles. You know, he wasn't scared of no needles. He had tattoos. Well, I only want to take blood and urine up to 10 to 15 days into the fight. Like, he was just saying some reckless stuff. Why you want to take a test 10 to 15 days? Why not want to take it up to after the fight? Because he was dirty. He was dirty. And everybody know it. He was a dirty motherfucker. And you ain't supposed to say that about people that they like. That's a mistake that he made. You wasn't supposed to say that about guys that they actually like. You supposed to keep that on the low. You supposed to keep that on the low. You ain't supposed to speak no truth. You supposed to speak lies. Hold on real quick. See what I see this up here like yesterday. Let me see what up here like yesterday. There we go. You supposed to speak lies. That's what they want. One second. One second. They want you to absolutely speak lies. They want you to act like what happened ain't happened. So, I mean, they can say whatever they want to say. We know the truth. We know he didn't do that shit on the up and up. We know he didn't do that shit on the up and up. Yeah, he didn't do that shit on the up and up. So regardless of what it is, Buzz spoke the truth, and you speak the truth today. It's just you in trouble for speaking the truth. I don't understand it, but you know, so be it. Then to end it off, So for the most, oh, I might be missing something else. Give me 1 minute. I don't want to miss no topics before I get off here. Give me 1 minute. 1 minute. Okay, that's it. So, but then you got a situation where you got, you know, I'll get y'all comments after I say this. Then, oh, I want to speak on something else too. I'm gonna say it after I say this. So then you got a situation where Ryan Garcia joined back uh, with Derrick James. So he joined back with Derrick James. I don't know how long Ryan been training for this Rolly fight. I expect he had been in the gym with Eddie Renasso, and they knew about this fight for a minute, right? And so he back in the gym with Derrick James. Basically, what happened was Teofimo Lopez let the cat out the bag. He basically said that Ryan didn't want to go train in Lake Tahoe. So it wasn't even to the point where that Ryan just did like, okay, Canelo fighting the day before me, I'm gonna go with a different trainer, and that's gonna be that, right? That wasn't the case. Tio said Ryan did not want to train in Lake Tahoe. So that's the problem with Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia has no structure. Ryan Garcia wants to do what Ryan Garcia want to do. He want to train when Ryan Garcia want to train. And that's the unfortunate events about Ryan Garcia. You know, and that says a lot about how his parents raised him in his household. And that's just that's for real. But a lot of people mad that Derrick James, you know, working with Ryan Garcia after what he said. And I told y'all, any people inside that business of boxing, inside music, entertainment, and sports, they don't care nothing about what you got going on, what the black community got going on. So Derrick James don't care. He's not going to address. Excuse me, what he said. He will never address it. You know, and he don't care. He don't care. He cared more about his pockets than his integrity. He don't have too many more high profile clients that I know about. You know, and first, you know, when everybody started to leave, or he had his shaky moments, you know, that's what life shows you. When you go through some trials and tribulations or some turbulence throughout your life, you know, one person jump off. AJ seen everybody, and that's just to tell you a lot about Anthony Joshua too. It tell you a lot about Anthony Joshua. You know, he seen everybody else jumping off the bandwagon. What he do? He jump off. He jumped off smooth as hell. You know, everybody, oh, Earl left, and Earl, I'm leaving. So everybody left because he started losing. He didn't become a bad trainer overnight. He didn't. He did not become a bad trainer overnight. It's just always a follower's mentality. It's always a follower's mentality. And, you know, believe it or not, them Africans are big followers. For them to be talking about how Americans don't have their own culture, dude, they bite off our culture all the time. They don't have a culture. Am I lying? They don't have a culture. So they are some of the biggest followers. And I'm just keeping it a beat. So, you know, everybody shook the spot. Ryan, you know, Ryan went with Derrick James because Derrick James was the most convenient. And in a way, he kind of threw Derrick James under the bus. You cheat and then you leave Derrick James and go back to Eddie Renasso. What's that saying? Indirectly, it's kind of saying that maybe Derrick James has something to do with it. That's how I look at it. The man you had your biggest victory with, if you did it on the up and up, and that's the best you look in the fight, why would you quit? Why would you leave him? If that's the best you looked in the fight, why would he leave Derrick James? In a way, he was trying to say Derrick James has something to do with him cheating. In a way, that's what he was trying to say, that Derrick James has something to do with him cheating. And then if he really didn't train for this role, he fight as long and as hard and did he was supposed to. Guess who he gonna point? Guess who he gonna blame? He gonna blame Derrick James. But that happens a lot in boxing amongst these black trainers. John David Jackson, you trying to tell me that he had no idea Kovalev was a racist? Dog, that's why I be telling y'all, them old niggas, they been sold out. They been sold the community, y'all. That's the problem. The youth ain't the problem. The root of the problem is these old niggas, man. They been sold out. They been sold us out, and I keep telling y'all that. They been sold out, just like Umar selling us out. Umar, man, you think Umar ain't taking no money from the man? You out your mind. They been sold us out. Look how many people sat up there before everybody was, going up there and getting mad at Trump. Right now, how many niggas sat up there with Donald Trump? Jim Brown, wasn't he an activist? Kanye West, Steve Harvey. And only one I probably give a pass is Steve Harvey because he worked for Donald Trump. If I give somebody a pass, he said you got to get it how you live. No, you don't have to get it how you live. If you a righteous individual, no, you don't. You don't get it how you don't have to get it how you live. But righteous individuals wouldn't understand that. They think all money is good money. You're not a righteous individual. You don't stand for nothing. If you would complain about a motherfucker and then take they scraps, that says a lot about your character. So a motherfucker that do that, come on. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. If you had the financial means and you didn't have to do it and you still doing it, like I said, that says a lot about your character as a person. And I ain't knocking if you do it, but these people who seem to really want to maneuver that way, they always want to prove that they black still. No, nigga, you sold out. Stephen A. Smith always want to prove that he's still black. It's okay. If you choose to sell out, I'm not mad at you. He said, what's wrong with brothers sitting down with Trump? No, what I said was, before they all got to calling Trump a racist, remember that? Them niggas was sitting up there with Trump, weren't they? That nigga the same person that he was before then. I'm talking about in the very beginning. When they were sitting up there with Trump in the very beginning, and some of them same people that's still around, Steve Harvey, let's not forget, Steve Harvey, he's still around, right? All of a sudden, he back in Kamala Harris. That just lets you know they going to the highest bidder, bro. First, it was, we're going to sit down with Trump. Y'all, man, people be knowing that people racist. Let's keep it a bean, All of a sudden, I know he was racist, and I would never say, get out of here, bro. These niggas been around Trump since the 80s, bro. They've been around Trump since the 80s. So to go up there and say you didn't know is a piece of shit. You don't become racist over 20, 30 years, bro. Or over 10, 15, 20, 30 years. No. They knew what they signed up for, bro. They knew what he was about. All of a sudden, he's racist and he's bad and he's this, that. No, you was just sitting up there with him begging for a piece of the pie. I'm just telling y'all, they go for the highest bidder. That's all I'm saying. They going to the highest bidder. Give me 1 second. They going to the highest bidder, bro. You can't trust nobody that just follow the money. They going for the highest bidder. Yep. They going to the highest bidder. And that's what I'm trying to say. They going to the absolutely highest bidder. Anybody that go to the highest bidder, you dealing with a woman, and she going to the highest bidder, that lets you know the quality of woman you dealing with. Come on. That's why I really never understood street dudes who hire these security, hire these hitmen, and pay them a bunch of money to keep them around. What if somebody else got more money? They're going to sell you out. They're going to sell you out. They're going to sell you out all day. So anybody that just roll with the winner or go to the highest bidder or they jump ship and just roll with the winners, man, they not to be trusted. Why wouldn't they jump ship on you? Excuse me. Why wouldn't they jump ship on you? Honestly. If you bought her, come on. Why can't nobody? It's somebody who got more money than you. Come on. If you can be bought, then you can be controlled. So with Derrick, I mean, Derrick did what he had to do. For a guy that didn't want to train Ryan Garcia, for a guy who didn't want to train Ryan Garcia, right? Errol had to beg him to train him. You know, look who his last hope is. He left you too. Man, you let a bitch leave you and you let her come back when she wants to. The respect is gone, bro. She gonna leave you every time she thinks she got somebody better than you. Same principle apply. Same principle apply. So yeah, like I said before, them old niggas been sold our community out. Look around you. How you think we got to where we was at? They sold us out. The church, a lot of the churches sold us out. Them old civil rights activist niggas sold us out. Al Sharpton, Reverend Jesse Jackson, they been sold us out, bro. That's why a lot of people walked away from the Democratic Party. We just gonna keep falling. I got this super extra long cord from the bottom below. But that's just real shit. That's just real shit, bro. They been sold us out very, very much long time ago. So y'all look around and just be like, oh man, this generation is so bad. How did you care? How did a generation get bad when, you know, there was somebody supposed to be guiding them, mentoring them, leading them, and all that shit? That's the $1 million question. That's the $1 million question that nobody want to answer. That nobody want to answer. Nobody can answer that question. Because these old niggas sold us out. I will call you back. These old niggas sold us out. But also I want to say, Carissa Shields did an interview. She did an interview. And with Marcus Villegas, and she came at Ryan Garcia. And in the interview, you know, she came at Ryan Garcia. Garcia said some things about her. She fired back. Y'all know Fight Hub and Marcus Villegas took that interview down. You know what I'm saying? All the nasty interviews that you have people saying about just different people on Fight Hype or Fight Hub TV, he ain't never took down, but he took that one down. Like, I be telling y'all, bro. Y'all be thinking I be lying. When we say stuff and we speak facts, they take it down. They take it down. But, you know, Ryan Garcia was saying all this racist stuff, didn't get banned from social media. Like I said, didn't get banned from social media. They still on there. He should have had a lifetime ban. Still able to be on X. Still able to be on YouTube. But Carissa Shields returned fire, and all of a sudden she the bad woman. And he said something about her. So he brought her into it. He know he was wrong. He never gave an apology to black people. Never. He gave an overall apology. He never apologized. He never gave an apology. He said, I'm just sorry for him. He never apologized for what he did. But they make us continue to apologize. He didn't have to apologize. He never apologized to black people for what he said. Never apologized. But she returned fire, and all of a sudden he take the interview down. See, that's what I be saying. Them Mexicans and them white people, they can dish it, but they can't take it. They can dish it, but they can't take it. So when we return fire, all of a sudden, oh man, we got to shadow ban this channel for talking the truth. Oh man, you know, we got to take his stuff down. I mean, they got mad at Devin Haney for saying he wouldn't let a white boy whoop him. How is that racist? Because y'all know a white boy couldn't whoop him. What was the dude that Tom mentioned that Marvin Hagler? He said, I never lose to a nigga. Come
on, dude. What was the name dude he was fighting? Marvin Hagler was fighting when he said that. I heard Tom just mention that. Hold on. Hold on. This shit just ain't gonna stay up. Come on, man. Throw me a bone. Throw me a bone. Hold on. I draw that type for no reason. Hold on. And Derrick never said nothing about it. Never. These niggas be living. These niggas 2 steps away from going back to picking cotton in Texas. Al Mentor. That's his name. Al Mentor. I'll never lose to a black man. The statement, I'll never lose to a black man, Marvin Hagler, was made by Al Mentor before they fight. Hagler famously defeated Mentor, winning an undisputed middleweight world champion. Come on. Is he historically known as a racist? He didn't complete the job neither. And he was for undisputed. And got whooped on. Come on. Shout out to Texas T. Mentor. Yeah. So I told y'all, anytime we say something, y'all notice how the algorithm slow down. You notice how they make us apologize and we gotta be quiet and stuff, man. And the answer ain't just because. The answer ain't. It just ain't. Oh, we need to get our own stuff. Every time we get our own stuff, they want to come be a tear down because it's successful. So I don't understand that. No way Pac-Man was on. Me about your rabbit ass mind if you don't think that motherfucker was on some shit. You crazy. You crazy. You out your rabbit ass. Well, he believes in God. There's no way he would have, man, bullshit. Anybody that know anything about Modern Bruce Lee, anybody that know anything about training, he was on that shit, allegedly. He said, what's good, Donis? He said, exactly, that's why some people got those STDs. I don't know what he's talking about. I forgot what I was talking about in the beginning. He said, don't make wings. I don't know. These dudes be weird. Black Jericho, salute. Turkey is low-key carrying, but low-key, high-key he carrying it. Eric Davis, salute. Jack Joseph Frost, salute. He said, final death throw of the old guard, facts. He said, shout to Andy. He said, I'm putting Floyd and Manny in my top 25 just based off my lifetime. It's based off your lifetime. That's why. You don't know no better. You don't know no better. What, Pusha T say? Young enough to still sell dope, but old enough that I know better. The melanated boxers from other countries not doing nothing special either. They really tired of Black America. Yeah, that too, but they don't have the opportunities. Outside of the UK where it's developed, you go to Africa, if they did start to develop, if I'm Dana White, he cared, I'm just going to Africa to find some talent and refine it, but they don't care about that. Tim Tszú's a great way. I like Tim Tszú, though. And he just made some bad decisions in that, not stopping that Fondora fight, and he just wanted to prove that he wasn't a trust fund baby. He was just trying to prove that he was tough and he's a good fighter compared to especially compared to a lot of other people kids. Tommy Hearn, when Tommy Hearn's son tried to fight and prior son tried to fight. I mean, shit, look at Magic Johnson's son. So Tim Tszú is a hellified fighter. He just made some bad decisions trying to prove that he was tough. You see Carissa Fight Hype video online. It was on Fight Hub. They took it down. Carissa stay on Ryan name. More than these dudes do. More than these males do, bro. These dudes are a disappointment. No, none of these dudes got the balls no more, man. Muhammad Ali used to speak how he felt. Offered to take dives, didn't take. These black males don't have no balls. In boxing, ain't none of them niggas ain't about shit, bro. Ain't none of them about shit, bro. Telling you. He said we need strictly liability. Shout out to Brazil. Second highest melanated place outside of the continent of Africa. Um, he didn't want to be isolated. You think he should stay with something that could save his reputation. Anthony seen as a follower. They are trying to be like us, not the other way around. Africans are indeed followers. They come to America throwing away their African names for America. Yeah, I've seen a whole TikTok video on that. I don't even need this no more. You know, I keep it. Yeah, there's a whole TikTok video on that. They white zaddy worshippers. They Brad and Becky worshippers, man. I heard about brothers going over there, and y'all be wondering why they colonized. They like to be colonized. What's that? Uganda or Ghanaian podcaster that says she rather date white guys, and they come over here bringing that rhetoric over to our culture, trying to convince our women. Are they poisoning our women? Becky poisoning our women, and feminism poisoning our women. You ever seen Africans, man, and they look at us like we the problem, we the enemy? They don't look at the white man who colonized South Africa, did all that shit to them. They look at the Asian man, the Russian man, the white man as mutual friends, as cool, but they look at us as the enemy, man. I'm telling you. And some of them cool, but for the majority of them, we see what it is. We see what it is. Oh, George Ford family, the black community, small hat and Muslims. Yeah, if he didn't apologize to the small hat community, he ain't apologizing to shit. He said Marco's low key prejudiced. I mean, I really don't know the guy, so I can't speak on it. But like I said before, when you had those platforms, you shouldn't even let people even have those conversations. Honestly, bro. Yeah, shout out to Texas T346. He said I got a feeling that Ryan gonna blame Derrick if he get caught again. He basically did by throwing him up under the bus. You think nobody else was on? See, that's my thing about it. That's funny about it. How people say they favorite fighter give. Well, everybody else was doing it. Well, let everybody else do it. We know who was obviously doing it. He says the Pater was on that juice too, allegedly. I mean, I don't know. He said to come out at 122 all the way up to 52, knocking dudes up. That's facts. One eligible. Facts. He came up a lot of weight, and he was getting stopped early in his career. You know, are you just mad because Ryan Garcia? Were you just mad because people think Pacquiao was on steroids? His head was growing. Then why he just didn't take the drug test? That's all we asked. Why he didn't take the blood and urine test? You can't answer it. You can't answer it. You can't handle the truth. You can't fucking handle the truth. I'm sauteing some onions and mushrooms. Them bitches hitting. That's all I had, man. I ain't gonna speak too long on here. Hopefully, I enjoyed it. Peace.